between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share the rules.
Chat, this is about to be the most biggest shit show you'll ever see. This is.
Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determines their position.
That's
Each candidate will have
stupid.
2 minutes to answer a question and 1 minute each for responses and rebuttals. An additional minute for follow-up, clarification, or response is at the moderator's discretion.
When it's time for a candidate to speak, his microphone will be turned on and his opponent's microphone will be turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted, he will be difficult to understand for viewers at home. At the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements.
For CNN's wise, that's really smart.
Pre-written notes, props, or contact from campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation,
That's smart by CNN to do that.
and their campaigns agreed to accept these rules.
Now, please welcome the 46th President of the United States, Joe Biden. Welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Why do they look like that? Yo, chat!
Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here. Let's begin.
What the?
With the issue that voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President Biden, inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 50%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled. Many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach in your arm. You'll be all right. The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do was try to put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do. We created 15,000 new jobs. We brought out a position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. But there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come from a household where the kitchen table, things weren't able to be met during the month. It was a problem. Price of eggs.
I'm sorry, the walkouts were so funny. Biden is stuttering a bit, but it's not bad. It's not bad as it was. I've seen worse.
Corporate greed can't take over. The combination that I was left with in corporate greed is the reason why we're in this problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you had to take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos. Literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we brought down the price of prescription drugs, which is a major issue for many people, to $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400.
I'm excited to see what Trump has to say. Oh shit. Because I haven't listened to him in a while.
All Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
Thank you. President Trump?
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a great depression.
Dude, these are just a bunch of old geezers arguing, dude. This is like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you guys take this seriously, there is a serious problem with you. Like, no offense. You know what? Take it the way you want. If you take offense, do it. But like, stuff like this, you should not be taken serious.
We had given them back a country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that
Fact
was
check it.
possible. The only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Thank you, President Biden.
Well, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he's the greatest economy in the world. And, the fact of the matter is that we found ourselves in a situation where
Honestly?
his economy...
Oh, he's starting to speak.
He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant in the military.
Ha! I'm better than Herbert!
When he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can. You
Am I
want
allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then they bounced back, and he's taking credit for bounce back jobs. You can't do that. He also said he inherited 9% inflation. Now, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength.
You know something that would be interesting though, chat?
It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country.
Like, I'm not even paying attention to this because this is gonna be just them back and forth saying, "You're the worst. No, you're the worst."
And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt. Well, so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt.
He's gonna say this fake news. Watch. Watch. Listen. Listen.
Into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar...
It's gonna be like, that's fake news. I don't know where you got that non-biased pull from, but it's so fake, it's so wrong.
Spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID, and even after COVID. It was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country.
Trillions of dollars.
Going like
There you go.
before. And we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet.
The oil and gas right under our feet.
We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration, even though we had largely fixed
This
it.
is so stupid, bro. I'm sorry. Like, anyone who's passionate about this, I don't care. Like, get a life.
But yet far more people died
This is the
in his
most
administration.
boring ass
He did a
debate.
mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. When the vaccine went out, he did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation.
Oh shoot! You know what's something that is good though? Because I'm pretty sure he's announcing his VP. I heard something about this. Because that actually will influence who if I'm gonna vote or not. Either for him, against him, or...
President Trump, we will get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to this question about the national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to...
You know, the thing about taxes, chat, is like, you know, it really depends on what situation you're in. Like middle class, close to upper class, they don't really like taxes because they don't, I mean, the benefits don't really apply to them as much. How do I say this? Like, tax benefits, like, don't really apply to them because, I mean, they apply and they're really helpful in some points, but they're not gaining much from it when people in the lower class are gaining, which is a good thing, honestly, because people need that, you know. You know, you can say, oh, the people don't deserve it. Fine. Fine.
What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people.
Paying 19 fucking emeralds.
What happened to the United States of America?
You're a fat.
They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case.
Bro, when is the court gonna rule on Trump v. United States, bro? I've been paying attention to that shit. It's not been ruled.
Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
Wait, what?
The federal government still
Can I go back?
in whether or not women have
Can I go back like a little bit?
to abortion pills.
Because what'd she just say?
They're used in about
Because I don't think he
two-thirds of all
can do
abortions.
that.
As president, would you block abortion medication?
First of all, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion bill, and I agree with their decision to have done that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole question that you're asking,
Oh, my parents are not gonna like that. Oh.
Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back.
I know what Trump's doing. He's being smart here. That's
That's
actually smart.
Great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of
Very
killing
smart.
Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody...
It's a whole popularity
Now, 10
thing.
years ago or
Smart.
so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, and getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio, it was a decision that was, an end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought. Kansas, I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions for
Exceptions.
and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't. Follow your heart. But you have to get elected also. And because that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're
What?
Because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth.
What is bro yapping about?
He was willing
You
to do this. He said, "We'll put the baby
I don't know. I
aside
haven't been paying
and we'll
attention.
determine what we do with the baby," meaning we'll kill the baby. What happened is we brought it back to the states, and the country is now coming together on this issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you. President Biden?
It's been a terrible thing. The fact is that the vast majority of constitutional scholars supported Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they were all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances
What
are.
your circumstances
The
are.
idea that states are
Broken
able to do
barrel.
this is a little like saying we're going to
I don't.
turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just
So
was murdered.
many
And
young
we
women
went to
that
the
you want
funeral.
to eat up
The
by.
idea that she was
Okay,
murdered
I got relaxed, dude.
by an immigrant coming in. They talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women to be raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters.
What?
It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross state
Wait, what
lines.
is?
Thank you.
There have been many young women murdered by the same people he allows to come across our border. We have a border that's the most dangerous place anywhere in the world, considered the most dangerous place anywhere in the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states. The states are voting. In many cases, it's frankly a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't.
Ooh,
But they
I like that.
Everybody wanted it brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get it. Everybody wanted it brought back, and many presidents had tried to get
So
it.
I'm trying to be
I was the one to
unbiased.
do it. And again, this gives it
But I
the
did
vote
like
of the people,
you
and
mentioned the
that's where they wanted it.
founders.
Every legal
I like
scholar
that.
wanted it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same topic. 7 states have no legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I supported Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. First time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians, that the founders wanted the politicians to be the ones making decisions about women's health is ridiculous. That's a lie. No politicians make
I can't get over. It was so funny when they walked out.
That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again,
Democratic run.
Governor of Virginia. Put the baby
Governor of
down, decide
Virginia.
what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. That Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security. President Biden, a record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch. Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum officers. Significantly, by the way, the Border Patrol endorsed my position. In addition to that, we found ourselves in a situation where when he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families are separated. That's not the right way to go. What I've done since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border legally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more.
Dude, I wish the mics were muted because this.
I don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look, we have the safest border.
I didn't know what he said. I don't think he knew what he said at the end of his sentence either. Oh, jeez.
That are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylums.
This is.
The largest number of
I told you, chat, this was gonna be a shit show. It's not failing to disappoint.
From the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world, they're pouring in.
It's seriously not failing to disappoint. This is. It's funny. It's funny as fuck, but like it's still a shit show.
In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who was great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president. Brandon, just speak to him. But
Brandon! Let's go, Brandon!
now we have there's never been anything like it, and people are dying all over the place.
We're gonna get so much stream moments out of this chat.
President Biden?
The only terrorist who's done anything across the border is one who came along and killed three under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person coming in his administration.
Bro, Biden is not speaking right now. I'm sorry.
Killed 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there. I'm not saying that no terrorists ever got through, but the idea they're emptying their prisons, we're welcoming these people. That's simply not true. There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating. He's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens?
I'm just gonna say.
And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world, and it had a huge impact.
Now he's like.
Not just water.
He's flexing the terrorists he's just
He's
killed.
the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying, and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union, because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his
Here,
ridiculous,
chat, let me
insane,
call Corbin real
stupid
quick.
policies, people are coming in and they're killing our citizens at a level that we've never
Chat, we're
seen
calling
before.
Corbin on stream.
Crime,
Oh, what's up, Spencer?
migrant crime. They're killing our
Get on
citizens
Minecraft.
at a level that we've never seen before. And you're
Okay,
reading
bet.
it like these 3 and
Okay,
4
I'm already on.
few days. One of them, I just spoke to the mother, and
How late?
at the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible.
Damn.
What's taking place in our
Okay. Where's Corbin?
an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it.
No.
He just doesn't know. He opened the borders.
Okay.
He's never seen anything.
Okay.
And we have to get a lot
I'm watching a shit show. I'm live streaming the shit show right now.
Gonna destroy our country.
We're getting a bunch of
They're living in luxury hotels
Corbin.
in New York City and other places.
Are you at work?
Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care
Are you at
about
work?
the military at all.
No,
And he doesn't
Okay.
care about our veterans.
I
Uh,
just got off work.
I had the highest approval rating for
Are you
veterans.
you're gonna get on, right?
He has
Yeah,
forces
probably.
gotten
Okay.
I
Get,
gotta see the presidential debate, dude. Are you watching it?
yeah, we're getting stream moments out of it.
Bet, dude, I'm gonna get on.
by far the highest, and now it's down in less than.
Hold on, let me take a piss and then I'll get on,
Yeah,
alright?
I think so. Okay. Have fun.
I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy.
Yeah. It's so funny if you watch the walkouts. It's so funny.
President
It's a
Biden,
very sad day.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every
Oh,
single,
here we go.
for example,
Dude, this is a shit show. They're saying everything's a lie. Everything in response. It's just gonna be this. No.
families like because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And he opposes, the group opposed that. We're also in a situation where We have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living one next door.
Is he talking about Hunter?
States for glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery, refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're
Suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines.
Oh!
Put it in commercials. We notified them. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this came up, and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of
He's a sucker!
people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers.
Could you turn it down a little bit on your mic end? Thank you, sorry. I don't want...
That's number one. And number two,
Biden getting a little angry.
the idea that I have to apologize to you for anything along the line. We've done more for veterans than any president has in American history. American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home, their families, and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
All right, thank you so much.
The topic of foreign policy. I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year.
Former
President Trump.
No, I don't want to hear Trump.
President Vladimir Putin says he'll only end this war if Russia keeps the Ukrainian territory it has already claimed.
I'm actually interested to hear about this.
Our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him.
Oh, here we go.
Worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him, that we've ever had. They can't stand him. So let's get.
Oh, he's sleeping, bro.
And they like me more than
Oh,
just
never mind.
about any of them. And that's based on every single.
I thought Joe was sleeping for a second. It looked like he was going a little slump.
If we had a real president, a president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe
What
triple
did
those
Biden?
numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned, and so he's got no love lost. But he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine. Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me.
I'm excited to see what Biden has to say to this.
They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no
This
money
will be
for
interesting.
Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror at all during my administration.
Yeah, they're talking about the Ukraine war. Trump has been claiming for the past couple years that.
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the matter is that we're in a situation where, let's take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Not when he was president.
Okay.
Here they attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where If you take a look at what Trump did in
gotcha.
Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want, and do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. Listen to what he said when he went in. He was going to take Kyiv in 5 days, remember? Because it's part of the old Soviet Union. That's what he wanted to reestablish, Kyiv. And he, in fact, didn't do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
President Trump,
I
I'm
never
going to come
said
back to you
that.
for 1 minute. I just want to go back to my original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the territory in Ukraine?
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever.
You know, whoever ends this war, I'll be happy. Just end the war.
The money that we're spending on this
End the
war,
damn war. Too many people are dying.
it should have never
But don't
happened.
get.
I will have that war
I'll be happy if
between Putin
a leader
and
ends the
Zelensky
war without
as
giving
president
Russia
elect
land.
before I take office.
Because it'll turn into the whole
I'll
Hitler
have that war
situation, I
settled.
feel.
People being killed so needlessly, so stupidly, and I will get it settled, and I'll get it settled fast before I take office.
President Biden, you have a minute.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people. And he has made one thing clear. He wants to reestablish what was a part of the Soviet Empire. Not just a piece, he wants all of Ukraine. That's what he wants. And then you think he'll stop there? You think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are for weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point.
Why does he have a pen?
Uh,
Our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In
Me
October, Hamas
stuttering a
attacked
bit.
Israel, killing more than
You know it's
1,000 people.
a lot better than I thought it would be though.
Among those held and thought to still be alive
Like this.
are 5 Americans. Israel's
No,
response has
no,
brought thousands of
debate's a
Palestinians
shit show. But Joe
into the
Biden's
humanitarian
like
crisis in Gaza.
not
President
like
Biden,
dead.
put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict,
Yeah.
but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel
This
is continuing its military offensive in Gaza.
I know, right?
So what additional leverage
Way too
will
old.
you
Way old.
use
Way too old to
get
be
Hamas
president.
and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one.
It's not even that. We just need so.
United Nations Security.
Yeah, seriously. Anyone besides these guys, I'm happy with. You know.
To the Israelis, and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward. Endorsed the plan I put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade.
But the thing about that is, like, no guy who knows what he's doing would want to be president, you know?
Conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one. They're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened? In Israel, we're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing
Biden's gonna bomb everyone, it's confirmed.
And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so there are 2 different things. Hamas cannot allow it to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas. Greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Let's get back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together have spent $100 billion, or maybe more than that, less than us, Why doesn't he call them, so you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any. They were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness. This is a guy who wants to get out of NATO. Are you going to stay in NATO? He's going to pull out of NATO. The idea that we have our strength lies in our alliance.
Trump wants to get. If that's true, that's a little. That might be.
What happens if
Is it actually?
Continue to go into
That Trump wants to get out of NATO?
Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about.
That's true, then hell no. We need NATO.
Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has
We
no
don't.
idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations around the world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea, because they understand
that's a little fishy.
location has a serious threat.
Because Trump is very like.
No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
President Trump, just to follow up, would you support the creation
It's not
of
that.
an
We just
independent
can't have a
Palestinian
tyrant
state
as
in order
president.
to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations. Because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything.
Oh, I think Joe's getting close to sleeping now. If you look at him,
I changed that.
He's getting there.
The big thing I changed is they don't want to pay. And the only reason that he can play games with NATO is because I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about this, I said, no, I'm not going to support NATO if you don't pay. They asked me that question, would you guard us against Russia? At a very secret meeting of the 28 states at that time, nations at that time.
Oh,
they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next month. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes.
Oh!
As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th, we were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever.
Dude.
On January 6th, we were respected all over
Dude,
the
you're
world.
dodging it.
All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed at. We're like a bunch of stupid people. What happened to the United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't be.
He's dodging it. He knows what he's doing.
You have 80 seconds left. My question was, what do you say to those voters who believe that you violated your constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say, but she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor of, in writing, by the way, the mayor, in writing, turned it down. The mayor of D.C., they turned it down. I offered 10,000 because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do. They asked me to go make a speech. I could see what was happening. Everybody was saying they're going to be there on January 6th. They're going to be there. And I said, you know what? There's a lot of people coming. You could feel it. You could feel it too, and you could feel it. And I said, they ought to have some National Guard or whatever. And I offered it to her, and she now admits that she turned it down. And it was the same day she was, I don't know, she can't be very happy with her daughter because it made her into a liar. She said, I take full responsibility.
If that's true, that's interesting.
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks up in Capitol Hill, number one. I sat in the dining room off the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours. 3 hours watching, being begged by his vice president and a number of his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In fact, he says he'll not forgive them for what they've done. You know, they've been convicted. He says he wants to commute their sentences and say that, you know, he went to every single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said, no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He didn't do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones who are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out, and now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
What they've done to some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What you've done, and you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed. When you look at all of they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that, they saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing, the Unselect Committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats, they destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President
Trump's
Biden, I wanna
still
give you a minute.
talking about how the election was rigged. It was not.
That was this man I'm looking at right now. And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on up in Capitol Hill. And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him those first two debates we had, the first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boy? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by. The idea he's refusing to, will you denounce these guys? You denounce the people we're talking about now? You denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
I'm going to give you a minute, President Trump, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the Select Committee on January 6th.
That's scary. If that's...
Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. My retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon at a very high level. His son is convicted. He's been convicted probably numerous other times. He should have been convicted before, but his Justice Department let the statute of limitations lapse on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all of the things that he's done. He's done horrible things. All of the death caused at the border, telling the Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo. That we're not going to do anything. We're not going to give you $1 billion unless you change your prosecutor having to do with the son. This man is a criminal. This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing. nothing wrong.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir. You want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous. It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president in our history spoke like that.
That's actually true.
Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant? I mean, what are you talking about? You have a balls on now. You can't.
Give me a minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official at DOJ into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in.
True.
Because the public knows it's a scam, and it's a guy that's after his political opponent.
Not that.
Can't win fair and square.
Not that it's a scam. I think some of those counts.
Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote...
It's fishy that all 34 counts were against. I think he did commit some crimes, but not all 34.
What they know about what he's done.
34 counts is a little.
They know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases around him coming out. He's got a whole range of issues.
Where's Corbin?
I don't know what the jury's going to do, but I do know he has a real problem.
Was that muted?
Corbin, join the world.
Yeah.
Corbin, join the world.
Join the world. What?
Wiped out. Because when you see the sentence, you know that story's been totally wiped out.
So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have to make. We're trying to justify his presidency. His presidency is the issue. Without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate. He made us.
We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate.
Every anchor is telling every
story, and you'll see it's debunked all
Looks like he's gonna walk off stage.
It's funny looking at him because he's so old.
All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried to God that this guy was dead. That somehow that's the only reason I ran. I ran because I was worried that guy like this guy could be elected. He thought there were good people coming out of that forest. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about this being fabricated. We saw their own eyes. We saw what happened in January. We saw the people breaking down the window. We saw people occupying his own vice president. There's a reason why. We saw people occupying the top vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 vice president first top cabinet officers refused to endorse him as well. The vice president hasn't endorsed him as well. So why?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the CNN presidential debate.
Oh my god, dude.
Right, but like, I know why Pence is not endorsing him. Because Pence wanted. Well, Pence ran. His political campaign didn't go well at all.
Coming up on series. Wait a minute. Tom, is that you hugging the camera? Leaving out of your close-up.
Cool, I'm gonna listen to that.
Just got better. CBS Mornings, weekdays at 7.
I had progressively fallen deeper into...
Oh, nothing works on this acne. Hi! Who? I'm a licensed dermatology provider from Curology. Answer a few questions, I'll look at your skin and prescribe you a personalized cream. Wow! Curology. Skincare with a face.
Oh, that's me. Mr. Byron Center. Hey Tyler. You still taking a piss? Fuck.
Spencer's a menace.
Dude, Tyler.
Hey, Corbin.
Hey,
Hey, Corbin. What do you think about Bronny and Braun, bro?
dude, that's kind of crazy.
Did you see my
You know,
voicemail?
No. But I kind of
listen to
you
it.
kind of see that coming.
Corbin, listen to
Oh
it.
my god, Tyler.
Listen to my voicemail.
You niglet.
Not right now. I'm busy getting shit. I gotta save my. I gotta keep.
What's this kid doing? Oh, watch where you're going, man. You said again. Corbin, I have a rant for you. Man, the Pistons, they suck. They suck forever. And I just got news that the Lakers just drafted Bronny.
Real.
And I swear, man, the Pistons just suck. What are you doing?
Wait, I'm listening to the voicemail. Hold up.
Building about Bronny and Bron, man.
Real.
Shouldn't be Cade.
Real.
I swear, man. I mean, Cade's a good building piece, but like, when you get someone like Bronny there, man.
Real.
That's what it should be. Not freaking Cade.
Real.
So yeah, that's really it. The Pistons suck.
Real.
Killian Hayes' fault and Jay Nivey's.
Real.
Hopefully Cade can find somewhere new. Wherever Cade goes, I'll
President
go.
Biden, while black unemployment
Real.
dropped to a record low under your presidency, black families
Yeah, can I at least
still
get
earn
my
more
villagers in a safe place before I turn it?
Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes.
The what?
Black Americans are imprisoned at 5 times the
Dude, I
rate
can.
of white Americans. What do you say to black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more progress?
Acknowledge you made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is, more small black businesses that have been started from any time in history.
Yeah, there you go.
The wages.
Yeah, Chip.
Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been.
And the
Talk
stats
about
really
blacks.
fits me.
Number 3.
Damn.
We're trying to provide housing for Black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations that collude to keep people out of their houses. And in addition to that, we find that the impact of choice that Black families have to make relative to child care.
Oh, give me a sec. I want to make sure my villagers are safe. I got 2 villagers on the line.
I was able to reduce Black child care costs by cutting
What do you want to do? What do you need, Spencer? I can probably help you. I got string.
When you provide that child care protection, you increase economic growth because more people.
Well, we're gonna have to wait for that.
So there's more to be done.
Because I want to wait until Landon gets on. Oh, I should probably call Landon. Call Landon Kiker.
You have 49 seconds left.
Calling Landon
What do you
Kiker.
say to Black voters who are disappointed with the progress so far?
He's gonna say it.
Inflation is still hurting the badly. For example, the idea that any Black family
Wait, what's up, Landon?
What's up, nigga?
You should get on.
so they can get started.
I should.
Yeah, and watch the debate with me, Spencer, and Corbin.
I know, I was watching it earlier. It's so
Dude,
fun.
did you see the walkout? I was crying. I'm streaming it right now, so
So fucking dumb.
the walkout was crazy.
Old men, bro.
I know,
President Trump?
Yeah.
dude.
Finish eating, and I'll be on.
Okay. Dude, what the? Dude, it's just a back and forth game, bro.
Unreal.
I'm baby mama. He causes inflation. He causes inflation.
Baby center.
Spencer, do you want a fishing rod?
Millions of people that he's allowed to do it. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be
You need a bow?
18, it could be 19, and even
Here's
21 people. They're taking black jobs.
Spency, come here.
Hispanic jobs. You haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history. Thank you, President Biden.
Hispanic jobs, and you
There was
haven't
no
seen it
inflation
yet, but you're
when
going
I
to see
became
something that's
president.
going to
Why?
be the
The
worst in our
economy was
history.
flat on its back.
President Biden?
50%
What do you mean by that?
decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy.
Didn't he create like 20 million jobs?
50% unemployment.
No jobs.
Decimated the
Provided
economy.
thousands
Absolutely
of
decimated
jobs
the
for
economy.
individuals,
That's why there's no inflation.
including minority communities.
There's no
Made
jobs.
sure that they had the ACA is
including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered the ACA has
But this guy wants to
made sure
eliminate
that
that. They tried 50 times. He
$8,000
wants to
per
get rid of the
person in
ACA
a family.
again. They're going to try again.
Health care. This
Find
guy
ourselves
wants to
in a
eliminate
position
that. They
where
tried 50
the
times.
idea
He wants to get rid of the ACA again.
I'm
And they're going to try again.
put more police on the
We
street
find ourselves in
than
a
any
position where
administration
the
has. He
idea
wants to cut
that
the cops,
we're not doing
provide
more
equity,
put more police on the
making
street
sure people
than any
have shot
administration
to
has.
make it.
He wants to cut the cops. We're providing
Inflation
for
he
equity,
caused
equity,
by
and
his
making sure people are
tremendous
shot to make it.
refusal
There's a
to
lot
weigh
going on.
in after the
And
pandemic.
inflation
Thank you. Another
will cause
persistent
it.
challenge is the climate crisis.
Now,
2023 was the hottest year in recorded
Thank
history
you.
in
Another
communities
persistent
across
challenge
the
is
country. Are confronting devastating events,
2023 is the hottest year in
intensifying
recorded history
wildfires,
in communities
stronger
across
hurricanes, and
the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels.
action. As
Former
president
President
to
Trump,
slow the
you've
climate
vowed to end
crisis.
your opponent's climate initiatives, but will you take any action as president to slow the
Almost
climate
every
crisis?
policeman
Let me just
in
go
the
back
nation
to
from
what it
every
said about
state
the
is
police,
supporting
how
Donald
close
J.
the
Trump.
police are to him.
Almost every
Almost
policeman
every police group
that
in
when
the
he's
nation
talking to
from
the black
every state
population
is
is
supporting
horrible, including the
Donald
fact
J.
that for
Trump.
10 years he
Almost
called them
every
super
police
predators.
group.
We can't, and I
And what
can't,
he's
we
done
can't
to the
forget
black
that.
What's
Predators was
is
his
horrible,
name.
including
And he
the
called
fact
them
that for 10 years he
and then
called them
taking
super
great offense
predators.
at it,
We
and
can't
now
in
they
the
see it happening.
1990s.
Bro, he's here to meet a 13-year-old girl.
I'm baby.
Black colleges and universities
funded
them
them
and
for
got them
criminal
all
justice
funded.
reform
And the
and for the
opportunity
historically
zones with
black
Tim, as you know,
colleges
Tim
and
Scott
Are they gonna?
universities.
incredibly
Funded
did a
them
great
and got
job.
them all
Great
funded.
senator from
And the
South Carolina.
opportunity
He
zones
came to me with the idea, and
Tim,
it was
as
a
you
great
know,
idea.
Tim
It's one of
Scott
the most
was
successful
incredible. He did a great
economic
job.
development acts
Great senator
ever
from
in the
South
country.
Carolina.
Opportunity
He
zones.
came to me with the
And
idea,
the
and it was
biggest
a great idea. It's
beneficiary
one
are
of the most
blacks, and
successful
that's why
economic
Is he gonna be his
development
VP?
acts ever in the country. Opportunity zones.
maybe
And
ever
the
they're
biggest
saying ever. I read
beneficiary
this
are
morning
blacks,
where
and
ever
that's
the
why
best numbers.
we have the
He's
best
lost
numbers with them in
much of the black
You know
population.
who we haven't heard much about lately?
wherever. The best numbers.
He's also done a horrible
He's
job.
lost
Kamala
much
Harris.
of the black
You
population
see these
because
millions
he's
of
done a
people
horrible
pouring
job
into
for
a country,
black
and they're
people.
going to take the
He's
jobs.
also
Didn't she want to extend school days?
I haven't seen any
Yeah.
You see these millions of people pouring into our
38
country
seconds
that they're going
left.
to take the
President
job,
Trump,
and
will
it's
you
already
take any
started,
action
and you
as
haven't seen
president?
anything yet. It's a
Slow
disaster.
38 seconds
I
left.
don't know, bro.
Will you take any action
And I
as
want
president
absolutely
to slow
clean
the
air,
climate
and we
crisis?
had it.
So I
We
want
had H2O.
absolutely
No, he
We had
didn't.
the best
clean
numbers
water,
ever.
and I want
And we did.
absolutely
Don't-
clean air, and we had it.
All forms
We
of
had
energy,
H2O.
all forms,
We had
everything.
the best
And yet,
numbers ever.
during my 4
And we
years,
did-
I had the
we were
best
using
environmental
all
numbers
forms of energy.
ever.
I think we gotta fact check that one.
And yet, during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever. And my top environmental people
Real.
gave me that statistic just before I walked on the stage, actually.
I don't know where the hell he's been.
Extensive climate
The
change
idea
legislation in
that he
history.
can say is true.
History.
I passed the most extensive climate change.
Ryan sounds like he's about to die, dude. I'm sorry. Like,
Find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges.
he's so old. I'm sorry. He's so old.
Historic black university and college.
He's too old.
They don't have
Too old. So is Trump, though.
They have
So-
buildings, laboratories, and the like. Any black students take one college and go ahead and white students can
Where's my-
just have the money enough to be able
Where's
to
my
get
bookshelf
jobs
villager?
and high
There you are.
tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming
For real.
that some people that have the cleanest water,
No, I have 22.
he had done a damn thing. He
Why?
signed the Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord, by immediately joining it. That's a big 1.5 degrees Celsius. And then he went,
How many levels do you have right now? Huh? 23? But so you want a present from me?
And China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing.
Come down to the villager. Come down to Ostrich.
I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treated us horribly. We were the only ones who were supposed to invest money. Nobody else was paying it to it. And it was a disaster.
I took care of this years. What he's doing is destroying the preventative.
I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the
Yeah, I got that from Piglin Bastion.
migrants coming in. They want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart in the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals.
Huh?
They're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social
Yeah,
Security,
I have a fortune too.
Medicare, and Medicaid.
For 30.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were no ones of consequence. We're not members of the
Oh, he's down there.
How can we do anything if we down there in the United States?
He's down there.
One of the largest polluters in the world. Number one.
For 30.
By 2035, we will have cut pollution in half. We have made significant progress.
Hey, he's right here.
We'll continue to make progress. We set up a climate course where thousands of young people will learn how to deal just like Peace Corps. And we're going to
Hey, you like why I named this?
that are going to significantly change the elements that cause pollution. But the idea that he claims that he is the biggest part of the really concerned about pollution and about climate. I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling one voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, would not have to pay. And by the way,
Social Security provides a critical So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden
Huh?
Social Security
What?
taking their benefits cut in just over 20 years. What do you need tonight? One specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solid.
I don't like that. He's making the wealthy pay their fee. No, I do like that, actually. You just do clay trades like I do. You get clay.
Millionaires pay 1%. 1%. So
I do clay and quartz trades.
cost of Social Security to anybody under $400,000. After that, it began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share by increasing from 1% beyond to be able to guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing he'll do is to keep this man because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicaid. And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect vaccines is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has
Yeah, I could probably get one soon.
and then they see, as I said, they're in a circumstance where
Why? Why?
40 million people don't have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only allows them to have
Actually, it's smart.
is the fact that they in fact are part of
Those are the ones for with paper trades too, right?
When it's such a big deal, we're talking about education.
I don't like that.
I've raised the amount of money
Okay.
for health care.
Spencer, do me a favor. Get me the thing you need for Fletcher's, and I'll get the villagers to breed.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years.
So many other things too.
I've never seen anybody
We
lie
mentioned
like
the
this guy.
laptop, we mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country and they're putting them onto Social Security, they're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid, they're putting them in our hospitals, they're taking the place
I
of
could
our
use a
citizens here.
looting. That's what I need right now.
Our veterans is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
He doesn't know what he's doing. And
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of, I told you before. By the way, when I said suckers and losers, he said after they fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump. That's what he said. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're going to be in a situation where
He was the one standing with Trump when he said it.
when he talks about
I need respiration, so that's good.
Situation where
taking away our jobs,
all these millions and millions of
that's destroyed economy.
illegal aliens coming into our country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest
So
growing
you're
economy
locked
in the
in.
world. There's a reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way,
Give
those 15 Nobel laureates you talk about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump were elected to have a recession, and inflation is going to increase and go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159
I'm down here.
and
Dude,
the worst president in history of the United States.
got two more.
Thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President
Cool.
Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country is
Don't place it down yet.
$11,000
I'm trying to get a villager with
The cost of child
looting.
care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected.
Appreciate it.
That's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him.
I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people. And the FBI drained the swamp. They were no good.
I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people at the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put Comey out. He was no good. I fired them. This guy hasn't fired anybody. He never fired. He should have fired every military man that was involved with horror show, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
Did anybody get fired for allowing 18
Did
million
you fire anybody
many
that's
from
on the border
prisons,
that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons,
our
many
country is being
from
destroyed.
mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be
This shouldn't be a
destroyed?
debate.
Joe,
He's the
our
worst
country is
president.
being
He just said it
destroyed
perfectly
as you
because
and
I
I
said
sit
it.
up here and waste a lot of time on
He's
this
the
debate.
worst
This
president in
shouldn't
the
be a
history of our
debate.
country.
He's
He's
the worst
destroyed our
president.
country.
He just said it
All
about
of
me
a
because
sudden,
I
he's
said
trying to
it.
get a little tough on the border. He
Look,
came
he's the
up with
worst president in the
nothing,
history of our country.
nothing deal.
He's
And
destroyed
we
our
reduced the
country.
movement.
Now all of a sudden he's trying to make it a little tough on the border. He came out with a
He wants open borders.
nothing deal.
He wants
And
our
he reduced
country
it a
to
little
either
bit.
be destroyed or he wants to become
This
less
much.
people.
It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants
He
our
can't let it
country to
happen.
either be
If he
destroyed or he wants to
wins this
pick up those
election,
people
our
as
country
voters.
doesn't have a
And
chance, not
I
even a
don't think
chance,
we just can't
of
let it
coming
happen.
out of this.
If he
We
wins
probably
this
won't have
election,
a country
our
left
country
anymore.
doesn't
That's how
have a
bad it is.
chance,
He is
not
the
even a
worst in
chance
history by far.
of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He's the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden.
We're the most admired country in the world.
Finest in
The
the history
United
of the
States
world.
of America. The government on the capacity. We're the finest military in the history of the world. The
I'd say that's
finest in the
true.
history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up. Go online. 159 or some 58, I don't know the exact number. Presidential historians. They've had meetings. And they
He also says "by the way" a lot.
President in American history. One from best to worst. They
He
say
repeats
he's
himself
the
quite a bit
worst
too.
of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. You can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is knowing doing anything to deal with child care.
I'm gonna keep that. I
I
actually want that.
significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men, single parents to be able to go back to work, and we should encourage businesses to have.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, the question was about what would you do to make child care more affordable if you went to
What
the
he's
amendment.
done is so
Just
bad.
here, Shane.
And they rape me. I'll show you. I wish I had
Other things. They rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me. I'll show you. I will show you. And they rate me one of the best. Okay.
create an
And
economy like
if I'm
this.
given
Nobody
another
ever cut
4
taxes
years,
like
I
this.
will be the best. I think I'll be the best.
Raise your taxes
Nobody's
by
ever
4 times.
created an
Wants to
economy
raise
like us. Nobody
everybody's
ever cut taxes like us.
4 times. He
He's
wants
the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life I grow up and I see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden.
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about it. He's increased the tariff. He's increased.
Is he asleep?
The taxes on middle-class people. I said I never raised
He's
tax money.
opening his eyes so wide so he doesn't have to like
These tariffs,
doze off.
everything coming in the country.
He's trying his hardest.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more.
It's so weird that we can vote now.
And all things are very important. Number two, these are the situations.
Corbin, you're gonna be able to vote, right?
Talks about how he is not raised.
So what? Oh yeah, yeah.
If I'm gonna vote, honestly. There's like no.
Yeah, I
point.
don't really.
Spend $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. We have the largest deficit of any president in American history, number one. Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress with China. We have the lowest trade deficit with China.
He's smiling. That's funny.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have
These guys are idiots.
in your first term, the opioid crisis. And for both of you, the number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts of
No way.
more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Largest deficit with China.
We now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy. We have the largest deficit with China. He gets paid by
Ban this nigga, ban this nigga, ban this nigga, ban this nigga.
So I think he's afraid to do it or something. But you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come. But he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you can't let that happen. You're destroying our country.
So, President Trump, you have 67 seconds.
The question
was,
was,
what are you going to do to help Americans in the throes of addiction right now who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs pouring across the border it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog. That's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low, because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways. But the numbers of...
Stop giving me look of the sea!
And human trafficking in women. Coming across
real!
The worst thing I've ever seen. At numbers that nobody's ever seen under him because the border's so bad. But the number of drugs coming across
I don't need loyalty.
is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump, thank you. President Biden.
Fentanyl and bipartisan fentanyl went down for a while. And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery to detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over and it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together. It's bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines.
Dude, you gave me loyalty again. Stop!
More numbers of agents, more numbers of all support. And when we had that deal done, he called us. He said, don't do it. It's going to hurt me. No, he never argued it's not a good bill. It's a really good bill.
Ooh, dope.
We need those machines. We need those machines. We're coming down.
I need looting. I don't care. I'm going until I get looting.
And Mexico is working with us to make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to
I don't need loyalty.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
This is just pretend. He ended remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time you send a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter. I think a good guy, and he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly, as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said, by literally, as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago, but Putin's probably asking for billions and billions of dollars because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases where we paid $6 billion for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I...
Thank you, President Trump. Dan?
Let's turn to concerns that voters have about each of you.
Stop looking at me like that, villager. Damn.
At the end of your second term, how do you address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
First of all, I spent half my career
Yes!
the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest.
Looting on my sword. Thank you.
This guy's 3 years younger. A lot of us come. I think just look at the record. Look what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises. We are growing. By the way,
Thank you, buddy.
a lot of people
What do you want to look for? Yeah.
computer chips, there's that 3% of the market. We invented those chips. And we lost it.
Okay, let me get some villagers fucking.
To find the cheapest jobs overseas and to bring home a product. So I went to South Korea.
Yeah.
I convinced Samsung to invest.
You guys can have sex in front of the golem. I don't care.
And guess what? Those fabs they call them to build these chips. Those fabs pay over $100,000. You don't need a college degree for them. Invested billions, about $40 billion already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant jobs for Americans from all over the world.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I've never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who trade places with the United States of America.
Oh, the babies are already going at it.
We're the most progressive country in the world at getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world that keeps our word. And everybody trusts
Dude, baby,
us.
don't be.
All of our recruitment, etc. They don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. For President Trump to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities to serve?
Well, I took 2 tests, cognitive tests, I aced
Yeah.
took none. I'd like to see him take one, just one, a real easy one. Like go through the first 5 questions, he couldn't do it. But I took 2 cognitive tests. I took physical exams every year. And you know, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships.
Bro's really talking about golf.
Quite smart, and you have to be able to hit
Is
the
it?
ball a long way.
Yes.
He challenged me in a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think I'm
Even Biden knows. He's like, this guy's crazy.
as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter.
Biden's intimidated by his golf skills right now.
Years ago, I feel very good. I feel the same. But I
Corbin, I think he has your vote now, right?
and you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced him.
Who?
Donnie.
Great guy.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I took another one.
Maybe, man.
And both, one of them said they'd never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
You can see he is 6'5" and only
That's healthy.
35 pounds. Well, you said 6'4", 200. Well, anyway, that's either. Just take a look at what he says he is and just for the way he is. Look, I'd be happy
Why
to
are they
have
talking
Damn.
about Donnie's weight?
I got my
They're just
when I
insult.
was vice president down to a 6. And, by the way, I told you you don't have to play golf. You can play a long time. You do it.
He's a 6 handicap of all.
Let's not act like children.
You know, I mean,
You a specific concern that voters have about you.
President Trump
Will you pledge tonight that once all legal
Ooh.
challenges have been exhausted, you will
That
accept
might attract some people, what you just said.
regardless of who
that
wins?
once all legal challenges have been
You will
exhausted,
say right now
that
that
you will
political
accept
violence in any
the results of this
is
election,
unacceptable.
regardless of who wins.
Have to say that, but of course,
You will say right now that political violence in any form is unacceptable.
statements that I made
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements that I made on Twitter at the time, and also my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say it's one of the strongest statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud.
You want me to call Landon again?
The answer is, if the election is fair,
Can you call him?
I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you
Because I
something.
don't want to bother.
I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be
I think the debate's about to end.
many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be
No.
under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great.
I wouldn't say that.
We're going to make America great again.
You said his
We're a
slogan.
failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies
Yeah.
are so bad.
Dude, we already have 2 iron golems, bro. In the village.
They're insane.
Kill him.
It will never end with him. He will drive us
Nah.
into World And we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very
I will kill you if you leave.
And Kim Jong-un, President of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all these
You better get back in your.
respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this.
Never said that.
And he's going to drive us into World War III.
Just do what you want.
You want a World War III. But you follow and win and let them say do what you want.
Hard response.
Just do what you want.
Idea.
There's things
Idea.
whole Article 5.
I can't think of a
Attack
single
on one is attack on all. The required response. The idea. I can't think of a single major leader in the world who would trade questions the job I've done, what they've done.
anything. They step up
Because
when
they're
they're
a
needed.
powerful nation. They're wonderful. It's because of the people, not just because of the American people.
So
They take the commandment and they step up when they're needed.
We got 2 iron golems, bro.
We're needed to protect the world because their own safety is at stake. And again, we want to have a war. Just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv. Make sure that
President Trump, as I
see
come
what
back to
happens
you
in
for
Poland,
a
Hungary,
follow-up
and other places along
question
that border.
was, will you accept the results of this election?
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up,
Just to finish.
the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
They took
Just
a
to
lot of
finish
land
what he
from
said,
Obama and Biden.
Russia,
They took no land,
they took a
nothing.
lot of land from Bush.
Nothing.
They took
Not
a
to
lot
do
of
it.
land from
They're
Obama
gonna play
and
games
Biden.
with me. He knew that.
They took no land, nothing from nothing. He knew not to do it. Not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me.
Never started.
Now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started, and he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war. He said, I will never settle until such time. They're running out of people, they're running out of soldiers, they've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions. Russia would have never attacked.
President Trump, the question was, will you accept the results of the election, regardless of who wins, yes or no, please?
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was
Dude.
ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week. Or we'll have another one of these on it in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that. I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up by numbers, because the people understand it.
Core?
You gotta give him that. Ooh, spit on that thing.
Kill yourself.
What's your problem, Corbin? No, I don't give a What makes you think I care about the debate?
Because it's a bunch of old men bickering and it's entertaining.
Bro, you see Carter Lawrence's private story or whatever?
Carter's retarded.
God is our only hope. And I tell you what, he's like Sleepy Joe is code. God is our only hope. And I'm like, you can't even vote.
That's so special. That definitely sounds like him, though.
No, dude, Carter's a fucking pathetic. I actually hate Carter.
Garrett, I can barely hear you.
You know Spencer's girlfriend's brother?
Jesus Christ.
Turn up the debate? I don't think I can hear it.
Sail through the heart of historic cities, an unforgettable scenery.
We're playing Minecraft right now.
Unpack once and get closer to iconic landmarks. Local life.
Are you retarded?
Cultural treasures.
Yeah.
Garrett, I can barely hear you.
Because I'm on my phone.
Oh.
Hey, turn up the presidential debate. I don't think it's loud enough.
Exploring the world in Cox.
Garrett, kill yourself. You little niglet.
Our team's still at it. Still have the draft. Saquon, let's have a conversation. Right here, it's unlike anywhere else. Off-season with the New York Giants.
What?
Good shit, man. We're doing some good work right now.
And today, I run my own software company. I'm
Hey
excited
Tyler, guess what?
What? Oh yeah. Huh?
I just caught a fishing rod with lure
Yeah,
3
they're on
and
their
mending
way.
on it.
Huh?
I just caught a fishing rod with lure 3 and mending on it.
Awesome.
But foreign competitors like China want to surpass America in AI.
And I caught a book with Fire Protection 4 and Quick Charge 2. Is that any good?
I think it's good that the presidential debates are not, what's it called? Like, where the others can't interrupt each other. It's less toxic.
Yeah. I think it's just... Oh, definitely a shit show. You kidding? They're both clean.
In the furniture business, things move fast. ZipRecruiter helps us hire qualified candidates who keep up.
Easy ass stuff.
They're down here.
That's
It's,
like
you see those
complete
babies?
bullshit.
They're trapped in here until they're grown adults. They're gonna be Fletchers. We're raising up Fletchers right now, chat.
They helped us build our dream team, and we did it fast.
Oh, is that a... Oh, it is. Damn. I just got an enchanted bow with Unbreaking 3 and Power 4. It's actually a good ass bow. You're gonna put mending on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
My hair has gotten so much thicker ever since taking this.
Mine? Do not take them.
Damn, Tyler, you really do have no life.
It's called a couple mining trips. That's it.
My ass. That's like a couple of days.
Literally, bro. What the fuck is this? That's bullshit. You know, with all these deals on Deal Dash, you realize that the shipping cost is probably $10,000.
Real. Oh, it's back.
We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
We've made significant progress on this debacle by President Trump in the last 2 weeks. We find ourselves in a situation where we have to make sure that we have fair taxes. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, if taxes is fair. The fact is that I said nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes and will not. And if I'm reelected, will increase again. But this guy is.
Hey Tyler, guess what?
What?
Number one, he's increased inflation because of the department.
Corbin, I'm streaming. Chat, Corbin is pissing on stream right now. Oh, I got a vaccination today.
Damn, for real?
Yeah. Got my hepatitis B, and I got my, what's it called, TB test. Yeah. I don't know, we're gonna have to wait a little bit, but I'm working on getting more villagers and stuff. Got Fletchers, and I also need a cartography table. Do we have one? Do I have one of those? That would actually be true.
like so many politicians, this man is just a complainer. He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do, all he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all the stuff he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. Our whole country is exploding because of you. Because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's ever...
After this chat, we're gonna watch some presidents playing Minecraft.
Space age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get when you're terminally ill. Now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers. For our soldiers, instead of waiting 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves. And they're living. That's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA.